It's very simple mathematics. If the economy is growing and you are reducing costs that we don't need, we'll be able to invest in our military the way we should. Peace through strength. Military strength, economic strength, moral strength, morally. The founding fathers didn't make a mistake when they said, endowed by their creator. Didn't say the governments. Didn't say the presidents. In this nation, you decide on your creator. Unlike many other countries, where they want to decide who you should worship. There's an element in this nation that's trying to take God out of our culture. Just look around, it's everywhere. I'm watching the U.S. Open last year. I think when you run for president, you don't remember where you were last year. And they had some young kids reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. And at one point in the Pledge of Allegiance, when they had the graphics and the music underneath, when they got to the part, one nation, they omitted under God. I said to my wife, did you hear that? I was sitting in my favorite chair in front of the TV next to the kitchen. She was in the kitchen preparing dinner. What? That's what we do at our house on Sunday. I sit in the easy chair and she prepares dinner. And nowadays when I prepare the dinner, okay? And she said, I missed it. What are you talking about? I said, they left out under God. She said, maybe it was a mistake. Before the segment was over, they did it again. One nation. Indivisible. And they skipped it a second time. That was no mistake. If we are to have the strength that we need in order to be the leader relative to peace in the world, we must be strong militarily, economically, and morally. And we can. And clarity. Because the world has changed a lot, we must be clear as to who our friends are. Clear who our enemies are. And as a businessman, I don't believe we should be giving money to our enemies. That clarity as to who our friends are, we make it clear to the rest of the world that we will stand with our friends, starting with Israel. Because right now, with the situation that has developed in Pakistan, there are a lot of uncertainties. It's not clear what our relationship with Pakistan is going to be in the future because of some unfortunate incidents that have happened within the last week or so. So we must establish clarity. During one of the debates, one of my Republican presidential rivals said that we must make Pakistan our friend. They didn't get a chance to ask me to weigh in on that, so I weighed in on it on 8 radio shows later. We cannot make any nation our friend. but we can make them respect us. That is the objective of the relationship we have with Pakistan and every other nation. And when we are strong militarily and strong economically, and demonstrate that we stick to our moral fiber, nations will respect us rather than look down on us. So know who our friends are. Know who our enemies are. And when we do that, we will be able to reassert U.S. leadership. U.S. leadership right now is slipping because of weak policies. And in all honesty, weak leadership, which starts at the top. To restore our global competitiveness, the economic situation in Europe is currently on eggshells relative to the debt that many nations have run up. There are some people that are declaring that there's going to be a doomsday scenario. We're going to have another meltdown like we did in 2008. I don't believe that it's a doomsday scenario. If U.S. banks and U.S. financial institutions didn't learn anything in 2008 and 2009 when we had that financial meltdown, then shame on them. I happen to believe that the businesses and the financial institutions in this country learned something from that experience, so I don't foresee a worldwide Armageddon because of what's going to happen in Europe relative to their debt crisis. And this is why it is even more important that we restore that global competitiveness by making our economy grow. One of the fundamental economic guiding principles for those of you that major in economics, and I know this institution has a great history relative to great economists. One of the great economic guiding principles relates to the business sector is the engine of the economy, not the caboose. The business sector is the engine. Government is not the engine. You got to put fuel in the engine. And the biggest thing that we need to do in order to put fuel in the engine is to throw out our current tax code and pass a bold new idea called 999. Those of you who didn't see 999, the movie, earlier before the program, you can find it at thecainsolution.com at your leisure. But this is how we restore that global competitiveness, folks. Thirdly, counter urgent threats. Terrorists are an urgent threat. I had the pleasure of hearing former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu speak in January of 2002. And this was right after we had experienced 9/11/2001, and that awful attack on our shores. And former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made a statement that day that has registered in my mind and in my memory ever since. In that speech, he said, because terrorism was new to the United States of America within your shores, there are two things that Americans must learn about terrorists and terrorism, because his country of Israel had been living in this environment for decades. He said, number one, the terrorists have one objective: to kill all of us, because their system failed. And they want revenge by bringing down our system. And they will not be happy until they kill all of us and destroy our free market system and destroy our form of government. And then the second thing that he said is that this war against terror is going to last a long, long, long time. You see, the terrorists don't announce a pull-out date. They just keep you guessing because they want to kill all of us. I guess that went over the head of some folks. She got it. That is a threat that we will constantly face. And the good news is within the last 5 to 7 years, we've gotten a whole lot better at it. But we've got to get a whole lot better at it even more. And here's a threat that we don't hear a lot about. Cyber terrorism. It is a threat. Why? Cyber attacks. Because there are 2 billion computers in the world connected to the internet. And many of the brainiacs have figured out a way to infiltrate your computers, my computer, at night when we think we're sleeping. And we don't even know about it. There have been attacks on the computers at the Pentagon. There have been attacks on some businesses and their computers. This is an area that we need to invest in, getting back to rearranging that priority. Invest in building our defenses against cyber attacks. Those are 2 of the biggest threats. Well, let's talk about an urgent threat that may not be so obvious. Apathy. This is our nation. And if there's something about this nation that we do not like, it is our responsibility to change it. Because the founding fathers didn't stop at life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A young man called my radio show one night. Mr. Cain, I'm frustrated. Why are you frustrated, young man? I'm frustrated because I don't like the direction of the country, and I don't know what to do about it. I said, well, are you a registered voter? He said, yes. I said, do you vote in every election? Yes. I said, well, do you have a copy of the Declaration of Independence? He said, yes. I said, go get it.